The participation of transgender or transsexual individuals in competitive sports is a very controversial issue. Sport was always male dominated, but the uprise of women's sports challenged that. And then a third view came in with the acceptance of gay people in sport, and now it's with transsexual people. I want to explore and understand these different perspectives. Okay, so my first main point is testosterone and athletic ability in male to female transgender athletes. There's an ongoing debate about all of this, which many argue about the biological sex differences between male and female, and also the sports ability between male and female. Those opposed to this, or that agree that male to female transgenders in women's sports have a unfair or have a advantage over cisgender athletes, which cisgender is basically just a person who identifies their gender as a birth gender. People opposed also believe that they have higher testosterone levels than normal females because they made the transition from a man and they still have a lot of testosterone. They argue that they have more muscle and less fat distribution because of testosterone. Testosterone regulates different body functions. It also helps put on more muscle mass, which is primarily why men are stronger usually than women. So they also argue that after puberty, if a male is to switch to a female after puberty, they're gonna have a greater muscle mass than cisgender females, which creates like a lot of unfairness in whatever sport they're playing, because they'll be stronger, they'll be quicker, they'll just have more athletic ability. So the debate on transgender women specifically has shown up in elite sports. So let's discuss an example of that now. This is Renee Richards. She was an early high-profile trans athlete. She played tennis, and she is a male to female transgender, had gender reassignment surgery in 1975, and was playing in the women's tournament a year later. She's such a big name because she did get an invitation to the Women's U.S. Open, but the Women's Tennis Association and the United States Tennis Association withdrew support from the U.S. Open after she accepted, and so did 25 out of the 32 girls that were in it. This created a lot of buzz, and the USTA introduced the bar body test, which identifies a person's sex chromosomes. They were trying to force Richards to take it. She refused and got banned from the WTA. She ended up filing a lawsuit, and in 1977, she claimed her civil rights were violated. The judge ruled in favor with her and ruled that she was legally a woman, and she was able to play in the 1997 U.S. Open. And she ended up losing, but it was a big step because she fought hard, and even when people didn't see her as a woman, she believed she was, and she did get the opportunity to play in the U.S. Women's Open. So now I'm going to talk about how trans athletes are treated in the United States. This isn't going to correlate to this is for the next topic, but states really vary. States vary how they handle transsexual athletes between the participation and even letting them play and what kind of locker rooms they get to use. So the advocates in favor of trans athletes being able to play like sports with the gender they identify as believe that there's a bunch of benefits to their mental health and well-being, and it's a part of their keeping them social and feeling like they're accepted. But those that are against it emphasize the size differences and strengths between if it was a male to female. He's going to be a lot stronger than the female athletes, or if it's a female to male playing a male sport, they're going to see him as weaker. So they also care about the safety of cisgender children in competition and in the locker rooms, and how they're trying to protect them and make them feel comfortable. So now I'm going to talk about some athletes that have done some big things that were transgendered. The first one is Christopher Mosier. He was the first open transgender to make a U.S. national team, and he did it in the duathlon, and that was in 2016. The second one is Rachel McKinnon. She got gold medal for the Cycling Masters World Track Championship. Not much about that, but Mac Baggs is a really big name. There was a lot of news about the kid, and she was a transsexual teen from Texas. Really good at wrestling, wanted to wrestle guys, but the state had laws requiring that you were supposed to play the sport with the gender that you were assigned at birth, not the gender you identify as now. So he had to wrestle the entire season with girls while taking testosterone, which created a lot of buzz that the testosterone was getting him stronger, all this, and he was still wrestling girls. So he ended up going 52-0 and won the state championship, but there was a lot of mixed feelings about the whole idea of letting him wrestle girls while he wanted to wrestle with guys. So, trans athletes are becoming a bigger part of society now, and there's really two ways to feel about it that I've seen. People are either in favor and think that they need to be comfortable. It's all about social skills, mental health, and then the people that are opposed to it worry about less of the trans athletes, but more of the cisgender athletes. They're worried how comfortable they're gonna be, and just how fair it is gonna be for them to play with trans athletes. So now I'm gonna get into some questions that I don't have they're not on the slide, but yeah, that's it. So have you known anyone who is questioning their gender identity or a transgender person?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
My roommate,
Okay.
a girl in my hockey team is transgender from female to a male, and so we have a lot of issues with that in the locker room as well.
Yeah.
He's gonna be my roommate's future roommate, so I know who he is.
Okay.
You're actually out of time.
Okay. So I can't answer this.
Dun dun.
Okay. Dang it.
Sorry, Joe.
That's all right.